Hey y'all, hey. So listen, I just wanted to do a video really quick to kind of just talk to you all so that you can get familiar with me as well as you can know exactly what has been going on with this channel. Yes, that's right. I got to tell you, first of all, when I actually started this channel, I was not intentional about bringing you content on a consistent basis because it was work. It was like, oh my God, like I'm doing Wow Inspired Inspirational broadcasts every single Wednesday, every single Saturday. However, shout out to StreamYard who changed the game for your girl. Like I was able to live stream, do my regular programming on Facebook, as well as share those broadcasts to YouTube. So, of course, shout out to StreamYard because they gave me the ability to do so. So, I just want to actually share with you all some things about myself. First of all, I am ShaySpeaks, but before I became ShaySpeaks, I was a very shy, a very timid, a very no voice, no talking little girl. Yeah, right? Hard to believe, right? Low confidence, low self esteem. Yeah, y'all are like, this can't be her. This can't be real. So, yes, that was me. I got to tell you that over the course of the last couple of weeks, I have been just thinking about how intentional purpose really is and how purpose drives us to do what we do and how and why Wow Inspire was created. So a year and a half ago, God gave me this vision for Wow Inspired. For those that do not know, Wow Inspired, Wow is an acronym that stands for Wisdom Optimizes Winning. And I was actually going through a transition in my life where I was coming into the knowledge of what it meant to be in true relationship, in a true spiritual relationship with God. So throughout that process, I would literally just write down any and everything that would come to my mind or that would be in my spirit. And that process really kind of birthed Wow Inspired. So I was actually came home from work one day and I always had a passion to advocate and to bring change in the workplace, in schools, just really understanding that most of the time it was in these very areas that I would lose my voice. Like I did not gain the courage to speak up, to actually say what was on my mind or what was in my heart because I didn't want to offend someone. I didn't want to fear that me actually saying how I felt would result in retaliation to me either getting a disciplinary action, whether it was years ago in school or even in the workplace where I would see things happening in the workplace, but I would also have my own feelings about some of what was happening in the workplace. So all of that then triggered to me actually documenting, writing down like my feelings. I would go on my lunch break and I would be in my car on my lunch break and I would actually be doing videos. I would actually pick a subject that was actually happening in the world, whether it was political, whether it was just social issues, whatever. And I would just kind of talk about those things on my lunch break, watching myself on camera. And not knowing at that time I was actually cultivating my public speaking skill sets in order to get over my fear of actually advocating, speaking out loud about what I thought needed to be changed or different. So in establishing Wow Inspired, one of the goals was to really get to the place where one of my goals is to get to the place where I could go inside of businesses and talk to management teams about employee morale and about retaining their staff, because oftentimes you have staff members that love their job, they love what they do, they love the people that they serve, but there is a huge disconnection in them having the ability or them feeling empowered to speak on issues in the workplace without fear of retaliation. So I actually just wanted to kind of talk about, people don't just stop loving their job. They typically burn out because they are not given space or opportunity to voice what they really feel or how they really feel in regarding to the culture and climate of the workplace. So I just began to say I was going to create a platform, and I just wanted to be that voice. I wanted to give inspiration, give encouragement to people that was actually working in the field that they love, but they was losing their passion. They were actually losing the love for the very thing they were created to do. So for me, I was like, I didn't know exactly what Wow Inspired would look like, but I was like, God, I just want to start somewhere. So of course I took my experiences and the knowledge that in revelation that I was getting through prayer, through meditation, and would do inspirational broadcasts. And I soon realized that I kept saying I was going to get started, I was going to get started. And it was a whole bunch of self-talk that I was going to get started, but I really wasn't doing anything to formally progress. So in prayer, God was just like, start where you stand. Don't allow other movements, other groups, other people to intimidate or to stagnate where you are trying to go, but simply start where you stand. Starting where I stood was really not having a camera, still don't have a camera. So if somebody wants to be a blessing, buy me a nice camera, a nice vlogging camera, let me just say I would appreciate it. So yeah, I just simply I just started right where I stood. So I started with my cell phone, no lights, started with one platform, no understanding, still not really technically inclined to do all of these edits. So most of the time I post unedited material because who has time for that? Like, the word is the word, and you're just gonna get the raw, uncut Shay. Ultimately, yeah, that's what you're gonna get. So I will say that's how Wow Inspire started, right? So many of you have been seeing a lot of different content on my channel, specifically interviews on or with individuals that are moving, shaking in the community, because I have a strong desire, a strong passion to see a community that is fully engaged, loving one another, just helping one another. And of course, that's my perfect world. So the goal is to become a philanthropist like Oprah Winfrey, like Ellen, my girl Ellen, where I would be able to help to promote the welfare of others by giving monetary donations to those organizations, to those individuals that lost a voice, have dreams, goals, and aspirations. So really just not forgetting those individuals that were just like myself. And ultimately, I know this can be challenging when you actually start gaining a following, when you start, influencing on a much larger scale. However, for me, my goal is to, when I get to the Oprah stage, when I get to the Ellen stage is to try to still be very intentional about having a hand in checking my emails, looking at my social media handles, because even now, like, I try to be very mindful to respond to comments, because a part of the rejection that I dealt with for a long time was I had, you know, the opportunity when I would give input, no one would acknowledge my input. So I tried to always consider the place that I was in. So me personally, I'm a mom of four, wife. So outside of all of what you see me doing on social media, I do also work full time for Maryland Department of Labor. I absolutely love my job because I love helping people. And a part of what I do for Maryland Department of Labor, facilitating workshops, helping people write resumes, helping them to get into training. I just love to see the magic happen. I love to see how a person will be feeling hopeless, and hopelessness, seeing them overcome their hopelessness and actually feeling like success is obtainable. So one of the things that I always say is that you have the power to change your story, change the narrative of how your story will end. Success and greatness, it depends on your ability to put your foot to the pedal and drive. Like drive forward. So I don't make excuses. At one point in my life, I made excuses, and God Himself, in all His greatness, told me that I need to stop making excuses and simply make time. So now I no longer make excuses, I make time. So I understood that I can't be busy if I want to be productive. I have to be productive in order to create and reproduce. So with that being said, you've been seeing a lot of different things from on this channel, one of which is a lot of interviews, and I am actually doing this video so that you can get acquainted with me, to know more about me, to know what my goals are. United 4C Strong, for those that do not know, God gave me the vision to have or to start this community organization called United 4C Strong, which is intentionally involved in creating or having the space to have candid, crucial conversations that's needed in the community to build the bridge of differences so that we can unite. Because my belief is we are stronger when we are united together. So it's just been amazing. It's been awesome to, host and to facilitate these various interviews, to network with different people. One of the things I tell my mentees is you don't have to be an expert at everything. However, the power of networking really, really changes the game for you. So I don't have to be an expert at everything, but when I understand who's in my network, I also understand the value of my network. Also, keeping in mind that a part of me being in a network and bringing value to that network has nothing to do with, well, it does have something to do, but I try to tell people that it goes beyond your monetary contribution to those networks. So many times people lose sight of their value because of their social economic status or the social economic class that they're in. You can be poor but have a wealth of wisdom. So of course, as you know, wisdom optimizes winning. So, of course, if you have wisdom, which wisdom, for those that don't have a full understanding of it, is simply the application of knowledge. So you acquire, you go through a learning process, you acquire knowledge, you get the understanding, but wisdom is just the application of it. So I'm learning something, I have an understanding of it, but in wisdom, I apply the understanding to my everyday living. So Wow Inspired is not just a brand, but it's a lifestyle, it's a way of living. So we apply wisdom to whatever the situation is to optimize the win. So that's what Wow Inspired is. Wow Inspired is also, it was designed to serve and support career professionals and aspiring leaders to re-energize, ignite, and to find their passion in order to walk into their God-ordained purpose. And this does not always look like preaching or being a minister at a church. Sometimes your purpose simply is serving those that are homeless. Sometimes that looks like just being available to listen to someone that just needs to speak. Or sometimes, just like my purpose is to really just give a voice to those that feel like they have their voice has no value. However, I have learned that the greatest value or asset that I possess is my voice, and being able to utilize the wisdom that I have acquired through my personal experience, through hearing the experiences from others to optimize the win in my life, as well as to share that wisdom to help someone else optimize the win in their life, right? So I am kind of just rambling, but the whole point of this video is just to kind of give you the logistics of who I am and what and why you are seeing such a increase, which is a great thing, in this channel. I also noticed in our analytics, most of our viewing time are coming from individuals who are not subscribed to the channel. So maybe, just maybe, not just maybe, I am going to start saying in every inspirational broadcast, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the bell, so that every single time we are live, every time a video is posted, you will get the notification. So I gotta tell you that I also have a desire to start a Inspired Influencers Scholarship. And what this is simply giving a scholarship to a high school student. I would really love to start in the county I reside in. So that's Dorchester County. So the end of the school year, I would love to give a scholarship to a high school student at Cambridge South Dorchester High School, as well as North Dorchester High School, for an inspiring influencer. And the criteria of the scholarship is going to be for any individual that wants to go to college, to pursue a college education, for an individual that wants to become an entrepreneur, and depending on how much is raised for this scholarship, that's how we'll determine the amount of the scholarship. But it is my goal, again, trying to become a philanthropist, to really start an Inspired Influencer Scholarship throughout the world, right? So every high school or every state, because I refer to the individuals that we come on and we speak to, my tribe, as influencers. You are an influencer. Does not matter how great, how small. You are an influencer. If you're a mom, you're an influencer. You're influencing your children. If you are a sister, you influence your family. If you are a teacher, you influence your students. If you are just a inspired influencer, you are an influencer. Yes. So what that is just simply, you have been inspired to inspire someone else. You have been inspired to influence the people that you are called to serve, that you live to assist or help, you are giving them back some of the inspiration, motivation that you have gained to trailblaze as an influencer. I have to do a video on how to dominate your lane of influence. How about that? I think I will. However, I want to actually do an inspired influencers scholarship. And I want to actually start again in the county that I reside in, which is Dorchester County. However, if there are individuals that are in other states that watch the content on this channel, please reach out to me. And you can do that. I have a couple of different email addresses, but ShaySpeaks1@gmail.com or inspiredinfluencerswow@gmail.com. However, either way, you can reach out, comment on this video, your email address, and we will reach out to you. But I'm going to be honest, like, I have been so blessed to be able to just use my voice, to use the wisdom that I have acquired to help someone else to optimize their way, to share my personal experiences with you all. And for me, it was definitely a hurdle that I had to go through in order to get to the place where I could say that I'm comfortable with actually sharing my experiences unashamed, unapologetically, because I know that what I've gone through was never intended for me, only just myself. Someone else needs to hear it to know that, number one, you're not alone, and number two, you can survive it. You can overcome it. So another thing I want to share as I close is that I am actually writing my second book project, but my first solo book project. So last year, I was actually a co-author in a book project called Breaking the Code of Silence Now, which I do have that book for sale as well. So you can actually reach out to me if you're interested, or you can submit an inquiry through the website because it has not been posted on the product page yet. However, I am currently working on my solo book project titled Dating Destiny. And I'm looking for that book to be released in January. I'm hoping December for Christmas. So you could purchase that book for a Christmas gift for yourself as well as share it with someone else. However, if not, the target date will be January 2021. So yeah, I thought I would share that as well. But that's all I have. Any questions that you would like to ask, any content suggestions that you have, please post them in the comments down below. Yes, down below. Post them in the comments down below. Listen, I am ShaySpeaks, simply here to, as you heard it, you always hear it, inspire the influencer in you. And that's exactly why I do what I do, to inspire the influencer in you. So I do not take offense to anyone that decides to use their voice to speak, because this is what this is about. I don't take offense to anyone who starts their movements, because this is what this is about. It's all about inspiring the influencer in you to utilize what you love, you to actually take your passion and see the purpose in it and to execute on that, right? So just a tip for those that don't know. Shay, well, I don't know what I was purposed for. One of the tips that I typically give is this. And I'm giving you this, no charge, right? So here, tip 101, discovering your purpose. Passion wakes you up, but purpose keeps you up. Passion wakes you up, but purpose keeps you up. The very thing that you love to do is the very thing that excites you to get out of the bed every single morning. The thing that you are purposed to do is the very thing that keeps you up at night. or the very thing that you lose track of time when you're working on it. So the very thing that you are very meticulous in, and you get frustrated because, not because it's irking your nerves, but because you know you can exceed in that area. You want to execute in excellence. That's what your purpose to do. That there is a clue to your purpose. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up. Any questions for me, put them in the comments. Content ideas, put them in the comments. Another thing about speaking, I used to hate my raspy voice. I used to feel like, oh, I'm not going to say the right thing, grammatically correct. However, now I own it. Like, put your content ideas in the content. Yes, I said that all wrong. Put your content ideas in the comments. So yes, listen, at the end of the day, you have to be okay with being the unapologetically you, and know that when you are unapologetically you, you become unapologetically blessed because you embrace your imperfections. You don't say, I'm in denial. You embrace them and you perfect them through the process of evolving, the process of growing, the process of acknowledging that they exist. So that's it for real this time. I am ShaySpeaks, simply here to inspire the influencer in you. Have an amazing day, evening, night, whatever time of the day you are listening to this, but still be inspired to do all that your purpose to do. Love you. Good night.